Morning, everyone. This is Jose Trujillo again. I'm coming to you from my art studio, and I haven't done one of these once in a while, so I guess this is the time to do it. So here's the thing, okay? Fear. The whole idea, or not even an idea. The whole thing about fear for artists, right? For us painters, sculptors, or whatever, artists in general. It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever, right? Why do we experience it? I think it's many different reasons why we experience fear. Fear is one of those things you can't really pinpoint it because it's associated with a lot of emotion, and the emotion comes from a lot of thinking. It really comes out of thinking, right? The whole idea of it, the whole bullshit, that it's created, the sleepless nights, the I don't know what's gonna happen, I don't know about myself, I don't know where I'm going, all of that stuff. It's born out of constant, nonstop thinking, and I don't know the whole thing about it. I'm just talking about my personal experience. I can talk to you about my experience, why I have fears, why no matter where I go or what I do, it just kind of it creeps in, right? And I assume, I don't know, but I assume that I'm not the only one experiencing this thing, this little monster called fear. So, in my personal life, what I realize is that I'll be working as an artist, right? I'll be painting, doing some artwork or whatever, and all of a sudden, something goes, something doesn't show up the way I want it to, right? The expectation is not there, or it goes away, or whatever, it's not there anymore. Whether you're creating artwork, whether you're selling it, it doesn't matter what you're doing, it's across, right? And then I start thinking about it, right? Just a little bit. I don't go crazy. I just start thinking about it a little bit. Oh, I wonder how I would do that. And when I pause, this is what I've learned. When I pause and I start thinking about it, even if it's just a little bit, all of a sudden I start going awry. What happens is that now, because I start thinking, I don't know what the next step is. And if you don't know what the next step is, right, then you could be making the wrong step. You could be doing the wrong thing, and that's where fear comes in, right? That's the being afraid, right? You're like, well, I don't know if it's the right thing. Should I be spending my effort here? Should I spend my efforts there? What is the best place to spend my efforts? And that, my friends, that right there, I'm talking about my personal experience. That right there is the nitty gritty. When you are unsure of what to do, you have two options. Don't do anything, or do something and do it quick. Okay? When I say don't do anything, is when you already went awry. You already went, you went south. You start thinking, you start having cold sweats, you start going through all this, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Once you're there, my suggestion to you, of course it's not a professional one, but it's my personal experience, is go take a nap. Go walk in a park. Go, if you live close to the ocean, that's perfect. Go look at the water, because the water comes to mind, right? When you see the water, you can't really think, you're in awe, right? It's like, this waves, this expansion, right? If you live in mountains or whatever, go look at mountains. Go look at something expansive. Get out of yourself. And the way to do that is to stop thinking, but you can't really do it because it's not up to you at this point. When you are in incessant thought, what you need to do is kind of force yourself. And the only way you can force yourself is by looking at something greater than you. Okay, so the ocean, the vastness of mountains, or I don't know, go take a hike, go walk somewhere where there's vastness, okay, or go lay down and rest, because you may need to do that. Now that's if you went south, like if you just out, right? If you're going through cold sweats and now it's not fear anymore. Now it's stress, and it's all these things, right? Well, it is fear, but it's manifested in a very now nasty way, right? If you haven't hit that part, what I suggest for you to do is start doing something. I don't give a shit what you do. Start washing dishes. Do not start cleaning your art studio. Start painting something for the sake of painting it. It doesn't matter. Do not sit there and start creating ideas of what you need to do next, because your problem is not what to do. Your problem is that you're not doing enough. And you may think that you're doing enough, but the only thing that you're doing a lot of is thinking. That's really what you're doing a lot of. You're thinking a lot. And your mind is fatigued, but your body is not. And your mind can fatigue your body because it creates a lot of stress, and of course it depletes. And all of a sudden your arms hurt. I don't know if you guys experience this kind of stuff. I've been through this kind of stuff, and I still go through it very little every now and then, but it still comes and knocks on my door. And what I realize is that I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about the stuff that I need to do, and thinking when you're committed to do something, thinking has no place in there. It's like you're a weightlifter. You can't think your way through. You gotta lift those weights. You can't think your way through. If you're an artist, it's the same thing. You can't think your way through. We tend to want to think our way through. Even if you're a strategist, you really can't think your way through. You got to start testing. You got to start doing stuff, and if something doesn't work, you got to, flip it, get rid of it, and move on to the next one, because it comes down to action. It comes down to movement. And now, if you went through that phase where it's really difficult for you now you're over like that phase that I told you that you went south, you went completely south. What I suggest you do is, of course, go calm your mind, because that's the problem right there. Go exercise, go jog really quick, really fast, and then your mind is going to rest. After that, don't start thinking again, because that's how you got into the first problem. That's how you got into the problem in the first place. After you go jogging and you sweat it out, because sometimes you need to sweat it out, because the mind needs to calm down. It's like you have a clear glass of water, and you put dirt on it and you start stirring it. The dirt is the thoughts, or the whatever the problems, and then the thinking is the steering. The thinking is the anyways. You can't see clear, right? Light can't go clear in that glass of water. So what needs to happen is that you need to let it rest so that the dirt can fall down. And one way of doing that, one very good way of doing that, as I mentioned, is you go exercise, or you go lay down, because sometimes you need to do that because you're very tired, because the mind makes the body tired. Go lay down. I don't know, watch some funny movie, something. Don't use it as a scapegoat, though. I'm just saying, if you have never done it, do it. Don't use it as a scapegoat, because then it starts becoming I don't know if it's scapegoat is the right phrase, but don't use it as I'm feeling, I don't know, I'm gonna go lay down and no. Like if you've never done it, do it. But then now you know what to do next. Okay? Now that you rested, or now that you went for a run, for a jog, or a walk, whatever you can do. Now that you rested, the next thing is, okay, tomorrow is a new day, right? Okay, start the day tomorrow. Don't start it today. Rest the mind. Watch a funny movie, whatever. The next day, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get up and you're gonna go on purpose. Who gives a damn what the plan is? You do not need a plan right now. There is time for that, but chances are that if your mind is like that, my experience is that you have too many plans, and you are too confused with plans, and you don't really know what to do, because the commitment It's not there yet. The wanting is there. The wishing, I want to do that. I want to go and get this gallery show. It's there, but the heart is not there yet. And I know this is a touchy subject, and many people get upset when I talk about this stuff. I get upset when I talk about it. I'm like, oh, come on. But many times what happens is that there's too much thought going on. There's too much projection. Oh, I want to have a gallery show. Yes, but you never go and knock on the door. You never go and talk. You never go and do something that is scary, that goes beyond just wanting it. Oh yeah, I wish I could talk to that gallery owner, and it stops there. It doesn't move from there. Yeah, I wish I could do that painting, and it stops there. It's like, yeah, well, I wish I could do it, but I have to go and take care of this, and I have to go take care of that, and I have to, I have to organize my studio. And what I'm suggesting for you to do is, if you are overwhelmed, that's the word. If you're overwhelmed, there's only two things. I know I'm hammering this, but I'm talking from experience. Nobody told me this stuff. These are things that I've lived and that I continue to experience, and how I am handling them, and I am just sharing them with you in hopes that maybe you too, and maybe in sharing them, I remind myself too. I notice that every time that I record this blogs, I also I realize that I'm growing, and I'm reminding myself, dude, put your shit together. So these are the two things, okay? Either go rest the mind, right? Or get to action, whatever action. There is no action is right action. Don't listen to people when they tell you, well, your efforts will be better here than there. That's BS. The only reason you're stuck is because there's not enough effort. That's really the only reason, and nobody likes to hear this. Please don't log off. Don't sign out. Don't go somewhere else if you need to hear this. Don't get upset, because we get upset when we're told this. I know I used to get upset when I was told this. The only reason things haven't happened for you in the way that you want them, it's because there hasn't been enough action, enough commitment. There's a lot of wanting. There's a lot of I wish, I hope these things will work for me. But the action's not there, like I mentioned, the heart's not there yet. I heard this from a mentor one time. He said, your all goals have something in common. And I think I have mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again here. All goals have something in common. All worthy goals, your art show, your art collection, your gallery, whatever, selling artwork or creating artwork. It doesn't matter. All worthy goals have one thing in common. The person that desires them is not there yet. And when I realized that, I heard that many times. I heard that hundreds of times because I would replay it, right? And I was like, yeah. But it came to a point where maybe I heard it so much that it kind of phased out. And then when I revisited again, it was like, boom, I get it. I see what he's talking about. And it sunk in, I finally got it. To an experience level, I understand it intellectually, but an experience level. And I was like, I was thrown out, I was thrown away by it. Or thrown off, I guess. I don't know. English is my second language, guys, so bear with me. So when I got it, that all worthy goals have one thing in common. The person that desires them, it's not there yet. It just, it was like a light bulb. Like, oh, okay, I'm not there yet. Doesn't mean that I don't want it. It doesn't mean that I don't want it bad enough to be there yet. And when you want something bad enough, you start cutting all the excuses. And there is no wrong action. Because in the action, this is something that I've learned. This is a gold nugget. If you wanted to, if you want a gold nugget from this, here it is. There is no wrong action. All action is right action. Right now, you don't want to be thinking about where is my best. Where we all get stuck. Well, we all stop. Where how they say when the shit hits the fan, this is what happens. We start thinking about where to deposit your effort. Where is the best place? Oh, I want to learn Google Ads. Oh, okay. Well, Well, how do I do it better? I want to learn, for those of us who are selling artwork, I want to learn how to sell on Etsy or on eBay. How do I do it best? And then we'll stay there and we'll get stuck there. Those of us who are creating artwork, how do I create artwork the best way? The best way to create artwork is to get paint out, get a brush, if you're a painter, dip it in that paint, and start applying it on that canvas. It's not, getting the anatomy right. All that stuff plays in there. But it's not that. And when we don't know this, we can't go beyond that. We don't know how to go beyond that. All the knowledge in the world, all the best strategies, all the best techniques are not going to make you lift a finger. Only this can make you lift a finger and can make you start doing things. And if your heart is not committed, that's why all the movies and all the great stories, they're all about heart. Does this person have heart? Do they, does Forrest Gump, what do we love him? Because he's got a lot of heart. He's very low right here, which is extremely important, right? It's a message they're trying to, the director was trying to share with us. It's a deep message. This guy he's a bit slow. He's all right, He doesn't have a big ego. He doesn't have a big head. He's not a thinker, And it's all about heart. Why do we look up to heroes? Because they're selfless. The hero didn't say, well, should I do this? Should I not do it? What's my ROI? No, return on investment for those of you who are into selling. What's my ROI? What should I do? Where do I get my best return? No, a hero doesn't think. A hero does. They do. That's why Bruce Lee used to say, don't think, do. Right? Don't think, do. Or Yoda from Star Wars, right? There is no I want or don't want. There's only doing, right? There's not it's not wishy-washy. You either do or you don't, Get in or get out. So that's why I'm suggesting one or two things. Go rest, right? Because sometimes you need that. Or go do. And when you do not think how you're going to do. That intelligent part of how to strategize and all that comes from doing. You see, this whole thing of putting the cart before the horses, it's a bunch of bullshit. And a lot of people are trying to confuse us into believing that. There is no greater power than raw power. Raw force, action, brute action is what gets things started. It comes down to energy. It comes down to, okay, start doing something. It doesn't matter if you don't know what to do. This doesn't mean that you need to put life-threatening or very, very heavy situations to just, willy-nilly. This doesn't mean that, but then again, it might. If you're in a dangerous situation, you're not gonna sit there and think. You're gonna do, and it's the same way. Now, this doesn't mean that a doctor is gonna be like, well, let me see by gut, right? Or no, maybe a doctor would. I don't know. But the example that I'm trying to say is that someone who doesn't know medicine is not going to go in there and say, well, let me take care of this. Of course not, right? They need training and this and that, of course. But what I'm trying to say is when it comes to just moving forward, you need action. And that's why we have fear. We have fear because we don't take initiative, because we are afraid of making a decision. See, when you don't know how to make a decision, it's because you're thinking that a decision is this thing you have to think through, but a decision is a split of a second. It's faster than a second. And what the only thing that is preventing you from making a decision of the things that you need to do in order to move forward, it's fear, and it's because you're thinking about it. There's nothing to think about. Just get up and do it. Like Nike says. We've been conditioned and told over and over by society, friends, family, to hold on, slow down, be careful, don't do that. You're doing things wrong, you're killing yourself, or blah, 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 all this stuff. But the only reason you are where you are, and I'm talking to myself because I feel like all help is self-help. it's you tell yourself and then you share it, right? The only reason you are where you are is because of the actions you take. It's not because of the way you think. It's not because of what you know. Knowledge is cheap right now. Knowledge is everywhere. Just go on YouTube, go on online, go anywhere. Knowledge is very cheap. It's action that we need, and we're not doing enough of it. And we trick ourselves to thinking that we're doing a lot of that, a lot of action, but we're really not. A lot of the times we're just on our phones. A lot of the times we're just just kind of walking from one place to another, not really getting things done. And that's my message to you guys. Take it or leave it. I don't know. My name is Jose Trujillo, and I am an artist. I hope you got some value out of this. Take care. Bye-bye.